Hello again, basketball fans. Welcome to another edition of High School Hoops Weekly. I am Aaron Schoonmaker alongside, as always, our prep sports guru, Pal Latimer. And we're about that time to the proverbial dance for the high schoolers right now. The conference tournaments are behind us. We're going to get into the tournaments, get into all the seedings, where the area teams are situated, who they're going to match up against, and where they have a chance of going in just 1 second. But first, we're going to backtrack a little bit because Pal was working overtime all week. I hardly got to see him in the office because he was in the gym. And we're going to get to those conference tournaments right now. Starting in the Mid-Eastern, what did you see?
Absolutely. Well, in the Mid-Eastern Conference, you had that shocker. Ashley girls pulling off a really big win against #1 Hoggard. The Ashley girls were the #5 seed out of that conference tournament. Whooped up on Hoggard, pulled out a really close win, 42-40 in the semifinals, and fell to a resurgent Laney team, the #2 seed out of the Mid-Eastern Conference in the conference finals. Laney having a great turnaround. Ashley also turned it on at the end of the season. So two teams kind of going at it that they're really finding their groove and getting some late juice here. But like I said, Laney came away with the conference tournament championship, so congrats to the Lady Bucks.
I think they got that wake-up call from last week. You called them out a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like they really did. Yeah, 8-2 in the conference regular season and really rolling right along. They had a really great turnaround here. And in the boys' side, we had Hoggard beating New Hanover for the 3rd time this year. But the Hoggard boys are, again, the #2 seed out of that conference. New Hanover pulled away more wins on the road. So a tough loss for New Hanover, but and a big win for Hoggard. But, you know, the Vikings take away the conference championship in the boys.
Over the Waccamaw.
Yeah,
there was some action there.
Yeah, the Waccamaw action. East Bladen. We know this is going to happen all year. The East Bladen's rolling through on the girls' side. Stomped North Brunswick in the Waccamaw Conference Tournament Championship, and just across the road in Bladen County, West Bladen rolled through the boys' side for the championship. So some really good basketball going on in Bladen County right now. It's a good thing to watch out for.
Over to the Tri-County now. The Pender, the boys are making some noise out here.
Absolutely, yeah. I was at the little hamlet of Delaware, North Carolina at Union High School for that Tri-County tournament the last 2 days. Long drive, but totally worth it to watch those Pender boys play. Yeah. The Patriots faced in the tournament championship. They faced a James Keenan team that could easily go to the regionals in that 1A bracket, and absolutely ran them out of the gym. A 92-66 win for the Pender Patriots in the Tri-County Tournament Championships. That's a huge, huge win.
Let's get to the brackets.
Absolutely, yeah. Taking a look at the brackets. Remember that Ashley postseason run into the Mid-Eastern Tournament? We're going to come back to that because Ashley actually snuck away while still being the 5 seed in the Mid-Eastern Conference. Got a wild card berth to the playoffs. So the Screaming Eagles, Lady Screaming Eagles, are still in it right now. Unfortunately, the team they get to play, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it if you're Ashley, they get to play Hoggard, the same team they beat in the Mid-Eastern Conference semifinals just a couple days ago. So,
right.
And also in that 4A girls bracket, Laney Bucks with that great turnaround. Their reward for that is to host 18-6 East Wake out of a tough conference in that Greater East Conference. That's a tough draw for Laney, but like we said, the Bucks have been firing on all cylinders recently. So Sherry Tynes and Britt Truesdale and the rest of that team will be ready to take on East Wake when they come to town on Monday.
A tournament team, you'd say?
Absolutely a tournament team.
All right, moving on now. Let's go down to the 3A brackets. What do we see in there with some of our area teams? Really, the only thing we've got in the 3A brackets are the 2 Brunswick schools, West and South. South Brunswick boys had a really nice season, and they're a really tough team to beat. They play everybody really close, so watch out for them to maybe make some noise. If they get a couple breaks to go their way, they could end up, in a sectional. So you never know. Right, and the brackets keep going numerically. Let's get down to the 2A brackets.
The 2A brackets you got to watch out for. In the 2A girls, we keep saying this, we're like a broken record at this point, and it's East Bladen's fault. These girls are just that good. They're the #1 seed out of the Waccamaw, 25-1. You got to watch out for East Bladen girls in the 2A brackets. Yeah. Although they did get a really tough draw. You've got Northeastern, Beddingfield, and Northside out of Jacksonville, all in that sectional. So some tough teams for East Bladen to come out of, but East Bladen is a really good team. So I'd look for them to be in any regional discussion in the 2A brackets. In the boys bracket, obviously we've got West Bladen playing really well right now. Also, Whiteville getting a really nice draw in that 2A bracket. There's a lot of teams that they could beat, a lot of teams that look very beatable for them. So Whiteville could make a nice little run here in the postseason.
Absolutely, and that Whiteville team, we've kind of been hinting at them, talking about them, but not really got over that hump to be like elite. They've got a pretty good little trail that they might be able to follow here.
They do. They're kind of a sneaky good team in that you hear about them playing a good game or beating somebody, and all of a sudden, they're kind of like one of those teams like, oh, how'd they get to be 8-2? Or,
right.
And they just having a really good season. Got some really nice guard play. Dan Spears, our sports editor, went out there and saw them play South Brunswick when they played. So and he was very impressed with them. So right. a team to watch out for, and certainly a team that could get hot and make a run because it's the postseason, and if you win a couple games, you're on a roll. Absolutely.
Well, let's get down to the 1A real quick before we get to your three-pointer. What do we have down there?
Well, like we said, Pender County on an absolute roll. The boys team out of Pender is something to watch. I've been covering basketball over this area all season. Pender County right now is the best team I've seen all season, and that's a 1A team. They're 9 deep. They ran James Keenan out of the gym again. I mean, and James Keenan is a pretty doggone good team. Yeah. They've got a great front line, a lot of size, and Pender they couldn't keep up with Pender at all. If their bench keeps clicking and they keep that good chemistry right now, they've got a lot of really good things going on chemistry-wise with their second unit. They're going to be a team that people are going to need to be afraid of.
We're winding down here, getting close to the end. We've broken down who's in, who's playing who, and who's setting up to move on in the brackets for the dance, so we call it. Let's get down to the three-pointer at the end of the show here. We're winding down. Give it to me before the buzzer sounds.
I'm going to curl off the screen here and say that experience matters in this postseason. You look at the teams that are at the top of the bracket, you look at the teams that have the best chance to go far, it's the teams with experience. East Bladen, been here, done this. Now this is their third time in the postseason for those girls. Pender, same story for those boys. In New Hanover, Freddie Jackson and that crew have been there. Yep. That coaching staff and some of those seniors know what it's like to be there and do that. That's so important. Also, the Hoggard girls in a similar situation. Right. With all those girls who have kind of been there and know what's going on. You cannot be a team. It's just so hard to be young in the postseason because it's one game and you're out. But then again, the teams with the most experience tend to come away. You mentioned this earlier, there are going to be some one-player shows to watch out for. A lot of these teams getting to the postseason right now are because of the strengths of one phenomenal player. You've got the Stillman White over at Hoggard, who has been incredible all year and was incredible again on Friday night in the championship game. You've got Tyria Fisher out at North Brunswick, an amazing player. She's going to top 200 steals if she keeps this up for the year, and that is unfathomable to have 200 steals in a year and also be averaging about 22 points a game.
You might need a warrant out on that one.
Yeah, you might need a warrant. That's that's some grand theft basketball right there. Also, Cabrina Truesdale out at Laney, been putting up 20-plus points a game all through this turnaround. She's really sparked that team, giving them some offense. A great player. Hang time. I'm pretty sure she can jump over Aaron right now.
Not the hardest thing, but doable.
Absolutely. And finally, that home court advantage. That home court advantage is just so huge in the playoffs. You don't want to go on the road. I talked to one area coach who said you want to limit everything negative that you can and get that and try to eliminate all the negative things you can. So home court advantage, you really don't want to lose at home, and it's really hard. It's really hard to win on the road, especially with all these. Every team in the playoff can play.
Yeah, that's something we saw in the football playoffs as well. As the home teams tended to do really well, and basketball is no exception. You pack people into that gym, you get the support of the home crowd behind you. That can change a lot of games.
Absolutely. It's just, like I said, it's so difficult to win on the road in the playoffs. And the teams that have locked that up look pretty favorable to go a long way.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Experience, home court advantage, and let's see the one-man shows going on. Watch out for the warrants. But Pal's broken it down for you. We've got it all set up bracket-wise for you. Be sure to follow along as the playoffs go on. We're going to have updates with scores, with brackets, with just about anything we can give you. Stories galore. I'm going to lose some hours of work this week, I know, just looking at Pal's blog. So keep following along to that, as I will be. For Pal, I am Aaron. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks a lot.